Oh. Narayana. Hari Om and good morning from Niagara Falls. Samartha Ramdas is a great sadhu from Maharashtra, and one of his prominent texts is called Dasbodh. Dasbodh. And in Dasbodh, he defines what the greatest vice is. The greatest avaguna. Guna means virtue, avaguna means vice. What is the greatest vice that one can have? The greatest vice one can have is to have a vice and to glorify that vice. To treat that avaguna as a guna is the greatest vice, because will you ever overcome that vice then? I'll be proud of it, isn't it? Why would I overcome that? This is the difference between Sugriva and Ravana. Sugriva has vices, but he is not proud of them. He's embarrassed of them, which is why he grows out of them. Ravana also has vices, but he's proud of them, isn't it? He never changes. The Pandavas had vices. We all know about that, but they wanted to change. So they chose Bhagavan Krishna to guide them. The Kauravas also had vices. They never admitted it, which is why they wanted Bhagavan Krishna's stuff that's not going to guide them to become better, and they didn't want Bhagavan Krishna. This avaguna is reminding me of a funny term in Hindi. There's a term in Hindi called makhi choose. You've all heard of makhi choose before? It's not too familiar, so that's why I'm happy to know that you all know this. So makhi means fly, okay? And imagine a fly landed on a peach or some milk, and it takes some of that, right? And it's like someone being, I'm so shrewd that I'll kill that fly to get that little bit of milk or that piece of peach. That's not shrewdness in an economical sense. That's just being kripanaha, kanjus, that you're going to kill a fly for a drop of milk. Avaguna. All of us also have avagunas. We have vices, but we're trying to treat these avagunas so that we become one only with gunas, only with virtues. Sometimes the world doesn't help us to overcome our vices. The world makes us more vicious through comparison, through competition. We're learning to treat our avagunas as vices. We studied recently about Sugriva and how during the Chatur Masya, during this 4-month period, he went from running around the world to indulging in the same place. Sugriva is a passionate king. And when you have a king like that, what do you need to ensure the kingdom moves? A dispassionate minister. That is Hanumanji. While Sugriva wasn't doing the work, Hanumanji was doing the work. So for us too, if we are indulgent people, we have this passion in the wrong sense, we need to be sure to surround ourselves by dispassionate people. People who are disciplined. Sugriva was fortunate that was possible. When Sugriva goes to meet Bhagwan Rama, when he tells Sri Lakshmana about his problem, he says, I'm an indulgent person. When he tells Bhagwan Rama about his problem, he says, it's your fault. He says, it's your fault that I'm captured by Maya. The indulgence I'm engaged in, that's all of your creation. He is suffering from desire, from anger, from greed. These are all known as Naraka Dwara. Sugriva's at the gates of hell, and he's telling Bhagwan Rama, this is because of your Maya. You are Mayapati. He says, only when one's efforts are blessed by you can one become free. If your efforts do not have Bhagwan's kripa, one will never be free of Maya. Think deeply about this. All of us are trying to be better people, but you cannot be the best. You cannot be Bhagwan without Bhagwan. It is only through Bhagwan's kripa that this is possible. Without Bhagwan's kripa, not possible. As he's sharing this with Bhagwan Rama, he says, Bhagwan, don't be mad at me. I didn't choose this. This happened. And Bhagwan Rama tells Sugriva, you're as close to me as Sri Bharata, as my brother who is my heart. Bhagwan Rama says, I love you, and I only threatened you. Remember the threat. He says, I have that same arrow that killed your brother. I still have that arrow. I only threatened you to bring you close to me. How loving Bhagwan is, that every time we're tested, that is to bring us closer to our Bhagwan or to ourself. I think sometimes when Vyasa, who's rolling now, if he's about to touch something he's not supposed to touch, I'll say, hey, Vyasa! And he'll look to me in an uncomfortable way, but then he'll come to me because he knows that I am helping him. At least that's what I infer is happening when I interact with Vyasa like that. When Bhagwan Rama tells Sugriva that you're as close to me as my brother, he smiles. And in Bhagwan's smile, you see sometimes when he smiles, Maya comes out. Sometimes when he smiles, Kripa comes out. Maya makes the impossible possible. Kripa makes the impossible possible. We have to make sure that we're evoking the right smile from Bhagwan. It is only through Bhagwan that we can be freed of dependency. That's what we describe Maya as. We continue with Kishkinda Kanda. The monkeys, the beings, are looking for Mother Sita. Leading up to this, or describing this some more, I'm on the 25th section of Chopais. The 25th. I'm reading the third Chopai, the second line. Nayana moodi puni dekhahi veera khade sakala sindhuke tira. At one point, the monkeys had their eyes closed, and when they opened their eyes, where were they? At the ocean. They're becoming closer and closer to Lanka. So leading up to this, what had happened? When Sugriva told all of the monkeys to prostrate to Bhagwan Rama and that they should go in all of the directions to find Mother Sita, they began and they went in all directions. And every time they saw an asura, they were so enthusiastic, they would give that asura one blow and that asura would die. And as they were hitting that asura, they said, hey Ravana, because they thought this was Ravana. But then that asura would die with that one blow, So they realize this is not Ravana. Ravana is too powerful to die by one blow. And every time they saw a sadhu, they would surround that sadhu. Imagine thousands and millions of beings around one saint. And they would keep on asking that sadhu, do you know Mother Sita? Where did she go? Where are the ornaments? And on and on and on. So a lot of meeting of asuras, a lot of meeting of sadhus. And in their enthusiasm, in their exertion, they became very hungry and very thirsty. And this was weakening them. So they asked Hanumanji, please find us food and water. How can we engage in this seva if we're not alive, if we're not lively? So Hanumanji starts climbing trees and jumping, and he sees this cave. And he sees these birds that are going in and out of this cave, and they go in dry but come out wet. So he infers that there's water here. So he calls all of those monkeys to come into this cave. And when they come in, they see this most beautiful woman. And they approach her, and they introduce themselves, and they ask who she is. In Goswamiji's Ramayana, this is not shared, but through some research, this is what I've been able to extract. Vishwakarma, he is the divine architect, designer. He created this cave where there's plenty of food and plenty of water. His daughter's name is Hema. Hema. And Hema loved Bhagwan Shiva. Loved Bhagwan Shiva. Bhagwan Shiva was pleased with Hema, and he told Vishwakarma that Hema should be entitled to this cave. Vishwakarma created the cave for Bhagwan Shiva. Bhagwan Shiva gave this to Hema out of love as her prasad. And Hema, through her deep, deep, deep realization of Bhagwan Shiva, she was enlightened, and she gave this cave to Swayam Prabha. Swayam Prabha was her friend, so she gave this cave to Swayam Prabha and said, the one who loves Bhagwan Shiva as much as I do will come to this cave. So you wait here for him, for them. So this lady's name is Swayam Prabha, and she was waiting for Hanumanji and all of the people with Hanumanji to come there. And in their interaction, she realized this, and she said to them, now you have this cave, and I'm going to Bhagwan Rama, the one who loves Bhagwan Shiva the most. They're deep in this cave, and they don't know how to get out because it's so dark. So she says to them, I want you to all close your eyes, and I want you to think of where you want to go, and then open your eyes. And when they did, where were they? At the ocean, very near Mother Sita. This is all the Katha part. If you weren't able to follow along with Vishwakarma to Swayamprabha, not important. Let's focus on the Vedanta part. These monkeys, millions of them, billions of them, Bhagwan Shiva says to Mother Parvati, you can't count them. Maybe there's trillions, who knows? These monkeys symbolize our thoughts. All of the thoughts, and monkeys jump around, correct? They are chanchala. And we've all studied in Bhagavad Gita in chapter 6, manaha chanchala. The mind keeps jumping from here to here to here. Who are these monkeys following? Sugriva. Sugriva is the intellect. Su means beautiful or strong. Griva means neck. When I am able to have a strong neck, it's like having a strong spine, correct? Someone with a backbone. If I say you don't have a backbone, it means you're weak. The mind owns you. But if you have a backbone, it means your neck is strong too. So the monkeys are following the intellect, or the mind is following the intellect. And who is Sugriva or the intellect following? Bhagwan Rama, the divine life, joy, freedom. Monkey, Sugriva, Bhagwan Rama, mind, intellect, freedom. This is what our Upanishads teach, no? Absorb the thoughts into the intellect into the spirit. I had mentioned to all of you, Ramayana is the Veda being demonstrated. So what are you studying? We are studying Vedanta through Ramayana. And another interpretation. All of these monkeys symbolize our sadhanas, our practices like being a morning person, doing japa, offering puja, dana, shravana, manana, nididhyasana. All of the monkeys are sadhanas. And these sadhanas tend to be fragmented. I do some in the morning but never think at night. Or I do puja but I don't know what I'm doing. It is only when these sadhanas come together for a unifying purpose do they become strong. These monkeys were already in the jungle, correct? But now they have a purpose to find Mother Sita. So they're destroying asuras, they're meeting sadhus. For us too, what are you doing in Vedanta and Ramayana class? Why do you wake up in the morning? Why do you go to work? What is the purpose of life? And unless there's that unifying factor, that unifying vision, we will never be strong enough to reach moksha or freedom. Now let's shift to Bhagwan Rama. Bhagwan Rama can find Mother Sita right away, correct? He's powerful enough. Bhagwan Rama destroyed 14,000 asuras by himself when he was a boy, correct? Bhagwan Rama can find Mother Sita and destroy Ravana just by blinking. So why so much commotion? Why so much effort? Bhagwan Rama is making use of the opportunity that is presented to him. You see, he never went to Bharata and said, "Can I borrow the army to fight Ravana?" He could have done that, correct? But he didn't. Who's around him? Hanumanji, Sugriva, monkeys, bears. He's not complaining, nor criticizing, nor crying. He is making use of the opportunities that are with him. He is teaching us to make use of our opportunity. The body we have, the mind we have, the intellect we have, without complaining, with this sense of cheer. Finally, I had shared that without kripa, then our efforts can never find fruition. We can never be free. This Swayam Prabha, when she asked them to close their eyes, when you need guidance in life, you can certainly rely on others, but finally you have to close your eyes and rely on yourself. You have to tune into your own conscience. And if you do that, you will automatically get where you want to go, isn't it? You may be hearing me speak about Bhagwan Rama, but you have to hear yourself speak about Bhagwan Rama. You have to talk and listen to Bhagwan Rama. So when she asks these monkeys to close their eyes, she's telling all of us, bring your thoughts inwards, bring your intellect inwards. And what will happen is, yatha drishti, tatha srishti. They were thinking about Mother Sita and serving, that's where they were. Close your eyes and feel all that I'm describing within you. Our next Chopai. I am on the 27th section of Chopais. This is the first Chopai, the first line. Ehi bidi kata kahihi bahu bhati giri kandara suni sam pati. Now we introduce, within this katha, Sampati. You all know who Sampati is. Elaborating on this, Angada is describing how lucky Jatayu was. That Bhagwan Rama was able to perform the final rites for Jatayu. And Sampati is there. That's Jatayu's older brother. He's here hearing this and he says to Angada, you know where my brother is. What has happened to my younger brother? So we're introduced to him. When these monkeys that have gone south are at the sea, how much time has passed? 1 month. How much time were they given? 1 month. Their options given by Sugriva was, you either come back within a month and say you didn't find Mother Sita, or you take more than a month, but you have to find her, but you can't come later than a month with no information. That's not an option. I'm the king and I will punish you. So now they're sitting at this sea. In front of them is a sea. They're monkeys. Monkeys, I think, can't swim. And behind them is Sugriva, essentially, that face that if you come back with no information, then you will be punished for this. They set up some kusha grass and sit down to die. They all feel that it's better we die here than we die where Sugriva is. This is called Yasho Mrityuhu. That their honor has been compromised, and better than their honor to be compromised is to die. This is Angada, the future king. He's a Yuvaraja. So they set up this kusha grass, and they actually start to fast. You know, the idea of fasting until death. They're all about to begin this fasting to death. Watching all of this is Jambavan. What is Jambavan? Some say he's a wolf, actually, but I feel he looks more like a bear. When I envision Jambavan, I see a bear, but he's also been described as a wolf. Who is Jambavan originally? Lord Brahma. Lord Brahma. Jambavan is watching the loss of faith and dejection in these monkeys. And so he starts to share with all of the monkeys, Hanumanji, Nila, Nala, Angada. This is Bhagwan Rama. He is Brahman. See, Lord Brahma knows Brahman, correct? This is Brahman. Why are you all dejected? He's telling them, you think you can find Mother Sita. Bhagwan Rama has asked you because he knows you can find Mother Sita. So Jambavan is sharing all of these insights, trying to bring that enthusiasm. And when he mentions Bhagwan Rama, then Angada thinks how lucky Jatayu was. Jatayu is an animal, and Bhagwan Rama performed his final rites. Angada feels he's an animal too. He wishes Bhagwan Rama can perform his final rites. And in all of this, then, we come back to Sampati, who finds out that his brother has passed away, that Ravana killed him. Sampati and Jatayu, they are a great pair of brothers. And I'll give you some history to this. Rishi Kashyapa was married to Vinita. Vinita, she is a bird. She's of the aviary, whatever that word is, part of creation. And she gave birth to 2 children. One is Aruna. Aruna is the sun's rays before the sun. And Aruna became the possession, essentially, of Surya. And the other child was Garuda. And Garuda became the possession of Bhagwan Vishnu. Now, Aruna has 2 sons, and that is Sampati, this immense vulture, and the younger brother, Jatayu. And they loved each other, Sampati and Jatayu. So when Sampati found out Jatayu was killed, he was devastated. Now, I'll tell you more about this later. Sambati is very old now. And so he asks all of these monkeys, can you please take me to the water? Because he's on a mountain right now, so I can offer til and toya for my brother. We do that too in our culture when someone passes away. So that's where the final scene is right now. The monkeys are carrying Sambati to the water, and he's thinking about his brother, Jatayu. So everyone is low. Some Vedanta in all of this. While this dejection is going on, Angada is saying, I can never become the king. Nila is saying, we've failed Bhagwan Rama. What is Hanumanji doing? He's being quiet. Hanumanji is simply observing the whole scene that is happening. And he's also being quiet for a technical reason. What did Bhagwan Rama give Hanumanji? His mudrika, correct? Does Hanumanji have pockets? Does he have a Canada Goose jacket with an inner pocket? What did he do with that ring? Put it in his mouth. So even technically, if I have a jawbreaker in my mouth, I can't speak on Ramayana. So best is don't speak. So Hanumanji has this ring in his mouth, and what Goswamiji says, a mouth that is not taking the Lord's name, a mouth that is not engaged in japa, is as worthwhile as a dustbin, as a garbage can. So this morning, if we didn't engage in our japa, then your raw is go to the closest garbage can and start eating. What's in there? Because it's the same. What has happened to these thoughts is that they have lost faith. Right now in Niagara Falls, we were studying Shraddha Bhakti Barao, Shraddha Prema Barao. Barao means to nourish. Nourish faith. Faith means to hold on to. They have forgotten Bhagwan Rama, no? That's why Jambavan has to remind them, hey, this is Bhagwan Rama. But if they have that faith, that Shraddha, Bhakti will be there. We can't depend on our own efforts. We have to depend on Bhagwan Rama's Kripa. Where there's Shraddha, there's Bhakti. Where there's Bhakti, there's Prema, love. Loss of faith is the same as loss of love. If we don't have faith in ourselves, we can never love ourselves. Which means you can never love God. One must never lose faith in themselves. Because the jeopardy that is created then, what is jeopardized, is one can't have a relationship with the Creator. One cannot be freed then. Imagine we are living with no option for moksha. There's no fate worse than that. Thankfully, Jambavan is there. And he begins to share insights with all of the monkeys. And most of these monkeys ignore Jambavan, but we know who's not going to ignore Jambavan. And so next week, we will find out how Hanumanji interprets this guidance from Jambavan, and we will complete Kishkinda Kanda, and then the most beautiful, the heart of Ramayana will begin with Sundar Kanda. Narayana.